So I've selected this. It's a 6-quart pot. Ta-da!
Ta-da! 6 quarts.
Ooh. I'm going to cut the bottom off of it. That's going to be my hoop. Oh, hooray! So I just bought this air cylinder. I get close. Pneumatic cylinder with a 5-inch bore. There's some pictures of it. I haven't got it yet, but I just bought it on eBay last night, and I'm going to turn that into a cheese press. Part of the cheese press. This is going to be the item that actually presses the cheese. And let's see if I can find another thing that I bought. I bought this fella. This is, it says it's a 5-port 2-position 1/4-inch PT manual. I don't know what PT means, but what that is it's an air valve that's going to operate just like a light switch, an on and off switch for the pneumatic cylinder. So in one position it'll go up, and the other position it'll go down. Okay, this is the first completed assembly of my cheese press. The stainless steel cylinder is what we call a hoop. I'm going to put the cheese curds in that, and it's bolted down by the all thread and held in place by the lengths of angle iron. And in between there is 2 inches of space, which is enough for the shaft of the air cylinder to go down. So this will just sit on the platform. And I'll put the curds inside of that. So this is my son Danny again, and he had an awesome idea to turn the follower on his wood lathe so we get it perfectly round.
Really slow because the plastic's nice and soft.
Yeah. And really slow first because it's it's kind of lopsided.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a big chunk. When you turn wood on a lathe, usually it makes a bunch of sawdust, but it makes spaghetti. Makes ramen more accurate, I guess. Yeah. It'll make a big long strand if you just keep cutting. It'll make a long strand. Okay, so I got it as close as I can get it. Fits in there nicely, and almost airtight. I've discovered that it's slightly conical shaped, because when this is now at the bottom, there's about a 1/16 of an inch gap, which I can't do anything about at this point. But right at the top it fits perfect, and if I really felt like it, I could get an airtight seal at the top. This is now going to be the top.
Okay.
That'll work for pressing cheese though.
Cool.
Hi, so today we're unboxing an air cylinder. Yay, this is it. It's an absolutely huge air cylinder. Okay. Hooray!
Hooray! That's a beauty.
So I'm going to test it. This is an air filled thing, and
Okay, do it again.
Okay, so.
And now our air compressor turns on.
Yeah. All right. So I've got another short unboxing video. This is an air valve that I ordered. Ooh, a hand valve. Usually when you operate or when you build things with airlines in them, you use ball valves. That is, it's either an on-off switch. It's either on or it's off. Which, in the case of an air cylinder, I can either have pressure in one side or not have pressure. And this little guy is essentially actually several ball valves in one. I have the air switch hooked up that I showed you earlier, and I have it hooked up to the video. So put it in one way, and the piston goes out. Put the switch in the other position, it goes back in.
That's fancy.
Yeah. And like I was saying before, if I had to do this with regular ball valves, I'd need one here, a valve here, another valve here to drain this side of the cylinder, another valve here, and a fourth valve here to drain the front of the cylinder. So then I'd have to drain one side, turn on the opposite side to pressurize it. And then if I wanted to do the opposite, I'd have to drain out one side and then energize the other side to make it go the opposite way. This I do it with one single valve assembly. I started putting together the frame for the cheese press. I have these three pieces that are made out of 2" by 3/16 inch thick square tubing, and the rest is going to be I think it's 14 gauge, a little thinner. Let's see, you can see the difference between the thickness if I do that. The three middle ones are going to be taking a lot of the stress, and then I plan to mount that piece of channel on top, going across, cut to length, and from that I'll have to drill holes and I'm going to make a mounting plate for the air cylinder and drill holes through that channel and mount it on top. I bought some hole saws a couple weeks ago at a garage sale that Danny found in our neighborhood, and I used the 1.5" one that was in there, and it worked pretty good to drill a very large hole in my piece of channel and the plate. So what happened is I laid out all these holes, and well, let me set this up. So I laid out all the holes, tacked the plate on to the channel, and drilled all the holes together with the hole saw. And the hole saw turned out really nice. It took a while to get through, but I was actually surprised because it took like 10 minutes. I thought it would take longer. But all the other holes, I put them in the wrong place. So I had to fill them in, and I'll grind those off later and re-drill them. Okay, well, I've re-drilled the holes. I had this tacked to the piece of channel, and I've drilled them all together. Matched up the 1.5-inch hole with the channel, and drilled them together, and then took it apart, and now all the holes should match. And if you can see, it's got I marked it with I don't know if it's going to focus. There it goes. The B. Oops. Flip that one upside down. There. I marked it with a B because that's going to be the back. And that's how I'll know that the holes are going to line up, because I drilled them all together, and so they'll match up that way. And I got my channel on, but I've only tacked it in case I have to take it off for some reason. At this point, I'm going to make sure that the cylinder goes on, and I got a gap between the channel and the tube, but that's no problem. I can fill that. So, we're going to test the cheese press.
Testing the cheese press. Hooray, the air compressor is off.
I'm going to try to do it once more. I put this straight edge on there because I want to see if it goes any. I don't detect any. I think it'll be strong enough.
Looks like it's anti-bowing.
It's bowed down.
They're bowed down. Okay,
Yeah, so it's
cool. It is cool.
That'll work.
Neat.
Danny wants to smash this chapstick container thing.
Yes.
We
have a blast shield.
Blast shield, sort of. Okay, so here we go. What?
You crushed it.
Did you get hit with
No,
something?
I just... Yay! Yay!
So I assembled everything, and I'm ready for a test. And I'm going to show everybody how it works. First of all, remember we put the curds in here, and I put towels inside to simulate curds because they'll be somewhat squishy. And I'll put the follower in with the curds. And then, where's the pieces of angle iron? Okay, I don't have pieces of angle iron. I don't know where they are. Okay, so found the angle iron. Like so. Put these. This is going to lock this hoop down onto the cutting board. And if I have a little bit of cheesecloth on the bottom between the hoop and the cutting board. And if these were actual curds, then what would happen is, you know, the curds would be pressurized, and the whey would kind of wick out through the cheesecloth. To do the test, I don't have curds, so I'll make do with something else that's squishy, like towels. So then hoops locked down, whole contraption into here. Now, and it's plugged into the air, so I can adjust it to where I want it, the pressure that I want, which in this case is going to be 20 pounds. I can use this knob to, first of all, we're having, that's the position where we want the ram to go down, so now I can lower this gradually. And I can look inside and make sure it's lined up with the hole in the follower. Actually, I need to go back up a little bit. And then I can pressurize it the rest of the way. And if this were cheese, I'd leave it for a few hours and come back and release it. Ta-da. Ta-da. And then I would take the curds out, flip the curds over, repeat the process. So it all works. And then this last knob is, when I'm done, I can drain the system. So there it is. It's ready to go except for paint. Okay, so I have the curds inside the hoop. I have it locked down with the angle iron. I have these just ready to be tightened. And it's in the cheese press. And I've set this for 5 pounds. I'm going to lower the ram down into the press, or into the hoop. Yeah. Okay, there. It's all the way down. I'm going to turn this up to 20. They were asking for too much. And you can see that the way that's left is wicking out through this cheesecloth in the bottom. And I'll come back in an hour. And take the curds out, flip them over, repeat the process. Only next time I'll pressurize it to 40 pounds, and then finally 60 pounds. And then it'll be done. I'll soak it in a brine.